Um, Hi, hello, and welcome to the Media Bubble Podcast, the podcast that talks about movies, anime, comics, video games, and whatever we feel like. I'm your host, Karol, and with me, as always, is my co host, Fredrik.
Meow.
And it.
In
And in
today's
today's
episode,
episode,
we're
we're
going to
going to
talk
talk.
about the 2019 film Cats. Sorry for stealing your intro a bit there, but
I was stunned.
yeah, I noticed that. uh,
I didn't
okay,
want to
let's.
believe what I was hearing.
Meow.
No.
Come on.
I
So, we're
mean,
going to talk about the 2019 film Cats because that's a movie that nobody has talked about, right?
it's a movie that happened.
Yeah, I kind of feel like the movie has also become a bit newer case of The Room, a film that is so recognizably bad that people check it out.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Like, it's a new bad good movie.
So everybody checks it out because it's so bad in so many levels that of course you need to talk about it.
Yeah. And also, just listeners, keep in mind. I mean, I don't have any experience with theater or musicals. I just enjoy consuming media, and I love musicals. That's it.
Yeah, we if you are thinking that these are two experts on musicals, I will be honest. I have watched no theatrical musical in my life.
There are better podcasts about musicals.
Yeah, but it's not here.
We're still good.
Yeah,
Okay,
we
but
keep the
obviously,
energy alive.
exactly. But I see that you have noted a lot of things about the movie, like technical details and the
No,
cast list.
I have just written a few things to keep in mind. So, like, we can begin with this. The 2019 film Cats is an adaptation based on Andrew Lloyd Webber's musical mega hit Cats. The play itself is based on a 1939 book, Old Pussim's Book of Particular Cats, written by T.S. Eliot. So that is kind of what Cats is original based on, and we are going to talk about a little bit about the musical. We're not going to talk about the book at all, but what we're mostly going to focus on is the film. That I have seen a couple of months ago. I still remember it pretty well. But Karol here watched it for the first time. Well, when did you watch it for the first time? It's kind of new,
I mean,
at
2 days
least.
ago.
2 days ago.
I started watching it actually 3 days ago, but in the middle I
Mm.
had to take a break because I couldn't like make myself watch the rest.
Okay.
It screwed me up. Like my
Okay,
whole
so
week was ruined.
so what was your reaction after you've had finished Cats?
I I am not
Were you
one that.
enraged or?
No. I mean, who could I even be enraged at? The ending was surprisingly pleasant, even though not a lot happened. Um, I just felt that I could have been spending more my time doing anything else.
And now we're going to talk about it for 40 minutes more in your life.
It's torture.
It was your idea.
It was. It's self-inflicted harm. But I mean, wait. So you haven't seen it recently? Didn't you give
I
it like a
watched it a
refresher?
couple of no, I watched it a couple of months ago. I kind of remember it pretty good, and I can something. My reaction from Cats was more like, "Yep, that was a bad musical movie," and then I moved on with my life.
I mean, next time we should do Les
No,
Miserables. It's like
no,
in similar
actually,
vein.
I gotta say that the movie actually introduced me to because I looked up some of the music from the 1999 1998 DVD of the musical because they did a film on the one of the shows. So I gotta thank the movie for introducing me to that show because I really like the music in the uh, Broadway kind of theater style, I guess.
Yeah, it's really cool. But maybe let's get on with the movie. So the intro. Uh, First scene, we have arrived in what seems to be like a dark alleyway. In front of us is a old, decrepit theater that is called the Egypt, and a woman throws a bag with a little kitten on the side of the road. Out of it crawls a little kitten, who seems to be our protagonist. And
Do you know her name?
yes, her name is Victoria.
Yeah.
And they have like a whole spiel about we are the Jellicle cats, and Jellicle cats do this and that. And also they have like a little talk about their names, and that each cat has three names apparently. One given, one
They
that
have?
yeah, but they didn't explain the third because one is the one given by like humans. Second one is like their true name that they like to ponder about and like be mystified about. And like the third one, where is the third one? They never explained it.
I don't remember that they had multiple names actually.
So I have notes that like in the first song about the Jellicle cats, we already see Idris Elba who plays Macavity.
Yeah.
And I'm checking my notes and I wrote he has clothes.
Yeah. Um,
And some cats wear shoes. Why?
yeah, some of actually that is really weird when you think about it. That most of the cats just have cat fur, but then there are some that has clothes, but the clothes are also made of fur.
Yeah, and also some cats are naked, and well, I mean, let's not get ahead of ourselves. But there is a cat who undresses herself into a suit from being naked.
Yes, but she kind of takes.
Jenny
Yeah,
Anydots.
yeah, that one.
But
Okay, yeah, that happens.
who, yeah, who's played by Rebel Wilson. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. So yeah, Mr. Macavity, which is our main villain, is just checking out on Victoria, and he heard like Victoria sing, and he begins to hatch his plan to ruin the Jellicle Ball.
Wait, does Victoria sing in the first song?
Uh, Victoria is seen in the first song, but
No,
she
does
like
he
she
sing
only
in
like
the
sings a
first?
tune.
Does he sing in the first song?
She like sings a tune, I think.
Oh, okay. I have gotten so familiar with the musical in the last, so I have forgotten some things about the film, to be honest.
Yeah, but you seen it months ago.
Yeah, one of the changes that I can tell you directly is in the musical, there isn't a main character.
Well, I mean,
Victoria exists in the musical, but she isn't the main character of the film, and she doesn't talk or sing a bit in the film.
I mean, it. I can see. I can totally see it since like as we go through the movie, Victoria is the person we are like like that's our point of view. Where she goes, the story follows along. Even though she doesn't really do much, she has one thing with another character which was called Griselda, and she likes help her with the ball. But otherwise, she just like gets swept up in with the Jellicle cat shenanigans.
She's kind of a character that made it for the film for us for viewers that are new to this
kind of
she
genre.
kind of has the same look as we have into this new world of cats.
Yeah,
you can
because
say.
she is an outsider. Like, she at the beginning of the movie, she isn't even considered a Jellicle cat. She is just a little kitten that's been thrown out the side of the road.
Oh. Actually, do they explain even what the difference between a Jellicle cat is and a normal cat?
I mean, we have a difference between a Jellicle cat and a Gumby cat. So my theory, because I don't think there is an explanation for what a Jellicle cat is. It's like a clan of cats, but I think it's just like cats that are allowed outside, or are they like homeless or like strays, and they feed themselves and like live within the city. Because then we have second song with Jenny Anydots, which is played by Rebel Wilson, and she is presented as a Gumby cat. She's a house cat. She's a fat cat that lives in her house. She doesn't leave it. Like she like literally in the song they sing that she just sits and sits and sits. That
yeah,
she's not doing
that's
anything.
correct. Yeah, that's correct actually.
And like Jenny Anydots, she like says, "No, I'm doing like stuff. I'm training mice to sing a core, and I'm also training cockroaches to parade." And this whole sequence was just crazy.
Yeah.
Because not only there were mice children, there were also cockroach women that walked upside down as the camera sweared up like the point of view, and the cats were punching on the table and they were falling into their mouths. It was wild.
Yeah, that scene was interesting.
Yeah, so we know like a Jellicle cat is not a Gumby cat.
But isn't she still a Jellicle cat even though she is?
I don't know. I mean, she participates in the Jellicle ball, so maybe I'm getting it wrong. Like mice children question mark.
We haven't explained what the Jellicle ball is, right?
No. So as Mistopheles, the magician cat, explains at the beginning, a Jellicle ball is a once a year opportunity for one cat to be chosen amongst all to be reborn into a life they always wished.
Okay.
And you can win this prize of being reborn by singing a song about your life and your experiences. That's why like almost all of these songs in this film are like, oh, I'm Jenny Anydot, and I do this, and this. Or I'm like Rum Tum Tum, and I'm unpredictable, and I do whatever I want.
So,
So yeah.
well, what is the
song
next
about
cat?
Jenny Anydots. Next cat is Rum Tum Tiger. So all of them have kind of a motivation for why they want to be reborn. Jenny doesn't want to be stuck in the kitchen because she hates it, as she mentions when they leave it finally. Rum Tum Tiger wants what he doesn't have because he's always undecisive. If he wants in, he go like 1 minute he wants inside the house, the other one is not. We see a scene where he breaks into a milk bar and drink milks with the cats.
Yeah, that also happens.
And there's also like a joke by Jenny that he's hitting high notes because he was neutered recently. But I have actually a note about this song, about Rum Tum Tum, because I think the actor who played him was Jason Derulo. And like, he sings well enough. It's just that the music was too loud and I couldn't hear half the words he was singing.
Yeah, I didn't like the song actually. I just didn't feel like the voice.
But I know that I had trouble hearing it.
I didn't feel like the voice matched the music particularly well. And another thing I also had a bit of trouble about is something that is reoccurring with this movie is that some in the music they suddenly pauses a bit to make a joke or something like that, and in this musical number, Rebel Wilson's pauses the number to make a stupid joke or something like that, and that takes you a little bit out of it, I feel like.
You mean James Corden?
Yeah, he does also do it, but she also did it in this number. Don't you remember?
Jenny? Yeah, because she joked. But I think, I mean, I have a wholly different opinion. I think that's the part of the movies that I enjoy the most.
Where you suddenly pause the music to make a joke.
Yes, I mean, musicals are funny. You can laugh, cry, and smile.
Yeah, but doesn't that
one of my favorite musicals.
Doesn't that ruin the flow of the music?
I mean, most of the people in this movie were like talking instead of singing, so there is little music to talk about.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point.
So you couldn't take me out of the flow because there was no flow.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
But also, like a well-timed cheeky joke, like just elevates the song.
Is there something more you want to say about Jason Derulo's number, or? I feel like that
no,
is
I think it was serviceable, but I dislike that he did that. Like he sang his song in the beginning, and then he really didn't do anything.
Yeah, where did he go after that actually? Because he was one of the few. He was one of the few that didn't get kidnapped, which is a thing that we also haven't explained.
Yeah. So as we said, McCavity, he hatched this plan, which we see with Jenny's number. After she finishes her song, he like magics away the cat.
Yeah.
And as the movie progresses, we see that McCavity is essentially planning to get rid of his competitors, kidnap them, so that he's the only available choice for the Jelko ball.
Yeah.
Because for some reason, like last time, he was with Grisabella and they did something, and he still doesn't have the chance to be reborn.
Yeah.
Because like as we're talking about Grisabella, her song was up next.
Is she next? Okay.
And she's like a little bit apart because.
Yeah, now I remember.
She sings here the song. Yeah, we're getting introduced to her. So Grisabella was, as the Jelko cats call, a glamour cat. So she was the diva. She was like the most respected cat on the block before she decided to run with McCavity. And like she sings that she has a matted coat and her ear is torn off and that she's down on her luck, and that she has fallen from grace and she used to run with McCavity. That's my notes.
Yeah.
And basically that we're also introduced to her motivation, that she wants to go back to these better times, which is further developed when she begins to sing duets with Victoria.
Yeah.
But as for now, Grisabella is chased off to the alleyway, and we go further with the fifth song, which is the introduction of Bustopher Jones.
James Gordon cat, right?
Yes, he is the big, he even calls himself fat. So he's a fat cat that loves to dine on precious and, wonderful food, and he goes into the best diners. And this, in between the song, that's where Jenny is magicked away. And, as for now, this was, my favorite part, actually.
Okay.
Why?
Why?
I mean, I liked it. I liked his character. His only motivation was to get more fat. Simplicity.
Yeah, it is, wasn't it?
And it was just funny.
Food.
He had funny landing jokes. One of them was him landing in a big bin of food.
Isn't there a joke where he goes, where he is thrown up in the air and he lands between his cat's nuts? I
mean, not even that. Before he's launched into the air, there's a plank he was supposed to be shot up from, and another cat jumps and he's like, I'm very sensitive about my figure, This won't work. We need more of you.
Yeah, but didn't you just say that he called himself fat in the song?
Yeah, I mean, but it was like in a cheeky way, like just like being coy with other cats.
Can we call them fat? Is that okay?
I mean, there is a mention like he calls himself that he's remarkably fat.
Does that make it okay for us to say that he's fat then?
It's up to our listeners to decide. I think if it's not all right, then it's not all right, because I think that we should be more accepting of different-bodied individuals.
Yeah. It makes no difference what you look or how you look.
But you said that you didn't enjoy his performance.
No. It was the
Why
same
not?
problem that I had before. That the number just pauses all the time. So the flow I just feel isn't there in the music number.
So you rather enjoy like a continuous musical number instead of just like monologues or like conversations in between.
Yeah, in a musical I like to hear music. Yeah, right.
I mean, musical is not. Musical is more.
There can be jokey kind of songs, but if the singing is part of the joke, then I like it. But if you completely just pause the music for him to tell a joke, then I don't feel like it's. I kind of feel like it's ruining the flow of the song. That's just my opinion.
I have to disagree.
Okay, then we can disagree then. And then we can move on to the next number.
Yeah, but before we leave for the next song, so at this point in time, Macavity is still on the hunt. And we see wanted posters of Macavity hung up around the town. And that's what I was wondering. He's a cat. So these posters must have been made by people, right? So, but is Macavity his like given name or is his like true name? Because Macavity is like spelled out on these posters. Who names their cat Macavity?
The first thing about this movie is don't ask any questions, just accept.
But that was at least what strung me.
Yeah.
Well. Okay, so next song, Buster Jones is like hurled towards like a rain pipe and then he's vanished. And as that happens, Victoria scurries away and meets the twins.
Yeah.
The twins are both calico cats, and they're called Mangaugier and Rumpelteazer.
Yeah, that's correct. I don't have them actually on my name list here, but that was what they were called.
Yes, and can I say, I really hate this number.
Yeah, you can say that.
So they are singing about how because there's two of them, they can cause like tremendous amount of mischief, and the household just can't decide if it was one or the other's fault. And instead of singing, they were talking.
Yeah, that's.
I hate it so much.
Yeah, that's a problem with some of the numbers in this movie is that it feels more like talking more than music. And is that the worst example of this, or is there one even more?
There is one. I mean, let me think. I think there is, but it's not as long. This is the most egregious, like full-on song when they are talking.
Yeah.
So the twins, the sequence in the movie is pretty nice. Victoria is laying herself on the bed. They're playing with jewels, playing pranks, and all. And then, yeah, I wrote I hate this. Horrible cats. And like in the end, when they cause enough mischief, a vase breaks and a dog is chasing them upstairs. They're leaving Victoria to be like eaten by the dog, but at the last minute, as she is like hold by a pearl necklace to a bedpost, Mephistopheles comes out and helps her from her distress.
Yes.
Because I wanted to say, yes, because I wanted to say, I really liked how they portrayed, or at least maybe hinted at, the relationship between Mephistopheles and Victoria.
Hinted at. I thought that was kind of obvious in the film.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like they kissed.
No, but it's
they
kind of
never
obvious
spoke, like,
that
we're in
they.
a relationship now.
Yeah, but it's kind of obvious that they kind of are. They like each other. That is obvious, at least.
Yeah, but also props to the to Mephistopheles, who was played by Laurie Dawson. He was I couldn't find a single fault with his performance.
Maybe
He
we can
was
say
rolling,
that.
he was shy, like he.
Maybe we can also say that Victoria is played by Francesca Howard.
Isn't she the one who also played in Les Miserables?
I don't think so.
Can you quickly Google that?
Let's see. From what I can understand, she's more of a. Let's see. She's more of a dancer, if I can understand it correctly.
But was she the one singing in the production?
I think so. In what production?
Listeners, we are currently scouring Wikipedia for the answers.
In what production are you talking about?
I was thinking she was the one in Les Miserables, but maybe not.
In the movie or in
the movie, the one with Hugh Jackman?
No,
she was dehydrated. Not. It was painful for him to sing.
No, she wasn't in that movie. Something that I can say about the director of this movie is that he's the same director as in that Les Miserables version that you are talking about. But
Les Miserables.
What Karol said.
But I felt that.
So he is the same director, but I don't think that any of the actors appeared in the same movie.
Yeah, I think so as well. But I just like the chemistry that the both actors had. Like, it was cute.
Yeah.
Okay, so what happens next is, I think Macavity kidnaps someone, and he teleports on board the barge where he keeps his prisoners. And we are introduced to his Growl tiger, which was Macavity's lackey, and he has he was like a really jagged, awful, his design just looks bad, and he talked instead of singing.
Yeah. And maybe we should move on to the Yellow Ball.
I mean, there's a lot of songs left.
Are there? No, but the Yellow Ball, they're in this theater. That is next, right? That they're moving into this theater.
No, actually, that's not it. That's not it yet. No, actually, you're right. So, after we are introduced to the barge and where the prisoners are kept, there is the song of arrival. So the host of the ball is finally arriving to start the whole shebang. And she's not singing, she's talking.
Let's see here. The Old Deuteronomy is played by Judi Dench, and in the original musical, it's played by a male, and now they have switched gender roles, I guess you can say.
Oh, so they play. So the actor plays both female and a male.
No, in the musical version, it is a male cat that is Old Deuteronomy. So they have switched the gender.
Cool. I mean,
it would be cool. I can support the decision to mix the gender up, but I didn't feel like Judi Dench could sing so well.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of makes sense. All of these performers are really good actors, but not maybe so great at singing, which
Mm,
kind of comes to a fault when you're filming a musical.
yeah.
When Legally Blonde was making holding auditions for like main cast, they instead before they went to Broadway, they hold uh, auditions in Philadelphia, which really brought up the best performance. But here we're going with big names instead of singing talent.
Mm. But
Uh,
let's move on. Next number.
uh, yeah, I mean, even if the I don't know what her Deuteronomy,
Deuteronomy.
that's her name.
Deuteronomy.
Yeah, even though she doesn't sing, I think her performance is still good. Like facial expressions and mannerism are on point. So we arrive at the ball, and we don't want to sing along because all the songs suck, or at least this song sucks. And then we meet Asparagus or Gus, and that's where I paused the film because I couldn't believe my eyes.
That's
So
the Ian
Gus,
McKellen cat, right?
no, that was actually later. So yeah, so we see Gus, which was played by Ian McKellen,
Yeah.
which I wrote Magneto's actor is here, and he meows.
Well, you can only go one way after you play roles like Gandalf and Magneto, and that is
Yeah, so
and
then
that
the
is
ball
going
begins.
and that is going to be in Cats. You can only go higher up.
Okay. So yeah, the ball starts. I'm trying to find my notes about what happens next, but I'm really messy at taking notes. Yeah, I even wrote Jellicle Cats. What is happening? Is this the intro to Jellicle Ball? What is he wearing suspenders?
Okay, let's.
Yeah, and then Grisbella is like trying to go into the ball, but she is chased off. Like there's like a big dance pit where everybody shows off. The cats with the shoes dance. Victoria ballets around. What's with their expressions? And they all act like they're on drugs. Then Victoria is walking out of the ball, and she sings a duet with Grisbella. And I think this is like one of the best. What like these duets are like what holds this movie together for me, because Grisbella is finally like talking about what she experienced, and she can like really sing really well. Who played Grisbella? It was
Yeah, let's see here.
Jennifer Hudson. Like
Jennifer Hudson.
yeah, and as she sang this somber tune about like memories long lost and that she can only dance with the shadows of her memories, yeah, there was this lyric, but at least you'll be here with beautiful ghosts. When Victoria was like singing that, at least you have pretty memories of your life before.
Yeah, that song
when I
Beautiful
had nothing
Ghost.
because I was kicked out.
That song Beautiful Ghost, I think that's a kind of an original for this movie. I don't think that was actually in the Broadway production. So that's kind of an original song if I remember correctly.
And what's important about this scene and why I'm bringing it up, because this is like the moment where Veronica finally starts to sing as well. And before, like she had like a few tunes, maybe like a word. She was like emoting, but she connects with Grisbella, and she shares this connection about like both wanting a better life for themselves, and I think it's beautiful.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what happens next? Is the next
memories were lost long.
is the next the train cat or?
No. Because next up is after this scene, the arbiter, like the judge, is like looking from the building towards Victoria and Grisbella, and she like talks, and I hated it. And then she meets with Victoria, and she talks normally. so I didn't know why she didn't sing, like why she didn't just talk. And afterwards, it's Ian McKellen's like poetry limerick.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So with the next song, which I wrote, song 10 question mark, Ian McKellen, we see him drink from a like a bowl of water, and he's like lem 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 lem, and that's the scene where I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
Okay.
Because I was just so shocked. Like, he's so like such an accomplished actor, and I know it's not like degrading, and the guy is being paid for this, but it's just hilarious. Like, what are you making him do?
I mean, wouldn't you do that if you got the chance, Karol?
I mean, that's why I'm not judging the guy, because I'd do the same. Still looks hilarious. I even wrote, Ian McKellen, please stop drinking water like that. This is awful. Please make this stop. This is awful. And the CGI didn't help either, because he looked like... I know the point was to make him disheveled, but he didn't look much of a cat. He looked like a furry version of Ian McKellen. Yes, so after he drinks the water, he goes on stage with help of Mistopheles and begins to the limerick, or like the song about his own life as a theater cat. So Gus is short for asparagus, which I thought was hilarious. And also there is like he has like a stage, yeah, and he has like a stage persona called Firefall Troll.
What did you say?
I don't know if I'm. He also like had a stage persona with the name like Firefall Troll, something like that.
Okay.
And I thought it was cute because like it was cute, it was rhymey, and he told about like how the young kittens had learned like he was at this stage before it was decrepit, and like the young kittens have to pick up the pace to keep up with the flow of the old guard, and there was rhythm to it, so I enjoyed it quite a lot.
I remember one line in the musical version where Gus the cat is talking about, this kitten doesn't get trained like we used to do.
Yeah.
Which I kind of feel is something that every generation of an old person is saying about the newer generation.
Yeah. Back in my days,
we worked 10 times as hard.
Back in 1998, we had actual singers.
Maybe it was better before.
So yeah, Mistopheles throws about some like effects to make the performance better, and then we have the song of the railway cat, which was Skimbleshanks, the railway cat.
Actually, this is one of the few numbers that I liked in the film. I like the kind of stepping tone, which kind of where it's supposed to kind of sound like a train moving, right?
Yeah, it kind of did, and the whole song like had a nice rhythm to it. It was like energetic. It was like fun. It told the story of Skimbleshanks and how he like slept on the trains and chased mice so that guests could feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And the dude was rocking like wonderful suspenders too.
Let's see, Skimbleshanks. Stephen McRae.
Is he famous for anything?
I don't think so. He's more of a musical kind of a guy also, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because,
he's
like, it
mostly
felt that from his singing.
He's mostly a dancer. A tap dancer, he's principal dancer with the Royal Ballet London.
Okay, and next up, after Twins, the most irritating scene in this whole movie. So, you may know, but our viewers do not know, that I love Taylor Swift. And, like, I know a lot of her lyrics by heart. If there is ever a concert of Where We Live. I am buying the tickets ASAP. I am flying. I am going. I need to see her live because her album, not Red, which she is re-releasing. The one Folklore was just amazing. So Taylor Swift was heavily advertised at the moment of the release of this musical. I mean, why not? She is the big name, and she can sing, and she is a professional performer. So imagine my surprise when Taylor Swift comes swinging down from the rooftop on a giant moon and strews catnip everywhere. Like, wonderful. I am amazed. I am in the moment. And then she sings about McCavity, and it's not even like rhythmic. You can't sing to this. It's not even about her. Why? I am confused, and I am angered because like she's doing this burlesque number, which like is interesting, and Taylor can sing, and she like puts her little soul into this, but the song just doesn't have rhythm. It's soulless.
Isn't Taylor Swift also the cat that appears least in this movie? Like that was
Yes!
her only thing.
Exactly.
It was this number and nothing else.
Yeah, and that's what I was wondering, because I mean, do you even know what happens afterwards? Like,
Yeah,
there's like
that's when they
story
get
happens,
kidnapped.
yada yada yada, and
They get kidnapped.
yeah. So catnapped. So as Taylor Swift, and I don't even remember her name, the cat, because I think they don't even say Bombalurina.
Okay.
Yeah, so she's throwing catnip all around, and like everyone is getting dizzy. Victoria tries to run away, but then she's sprayed by catnip, and then she goes in watching the show intently. And all the other contestants, in the meanwhile, are being vanished away by McCavity. And then, like, she does nothing else, and then she ends up on a barge with McCavity, and McCavity says, "Oh, they gotten away. Come on, we're going after them." And then she's not shown anything else in the movie.
Yeah, that was one of the weirdest scenes with them. We're going after them, and they didn't really do anything.
Exactly.
I
mean,
Idris
Elba
appears in one scene after this, and we can talk about that when that happens.
Yeah, I mean, the worst thing is, McCavity is the main villain, but Taylor Swift is singing his song.
Yeah.
Like, his motivation.
He doesn't even sing his own song.
And also, I mean, maybe that's the thing, maybe that's the reason why he can't win the Joker Bowl, because, as we know, Grisbella has been roped into his shenanigans last year, and we see how she ended up. So why not he didn't just find another starling that another diva cat, which was Bombalurina, and just used her like he used Grisbella. Maybe there's like this parallel between them. And who knows, maybe Bombalurina will end up as Grisbella, disgraced, cold, and alone, the next year. But yeah, I'm mad.
Okay, but...
So when this happens, the judge is also, like... Yeah, so after this, like, all this is happening, everyone is just doped out of their minds, and the judge is also being kidnapped. And... Okay, like, she's being kidnapped, and the stakes are getting higher, like, Mistopheles, they beg him to bring her back, and I thought that they would at least drag it out a little longer, like, okay, without the judge, there can't be a Jellicle Ball, and she's being threatened to be thrown into flames, or like in the river, and lose her life, so like, without her, can there even be a Jellicle Ball at all? Well, listener, don't worry about that, because that problem is fixed within the next song. Straight after she was kidnapped.
Yeah.
So, Mistopheles gets his own number. where
Mr.
everyone is cheering him
Mistopheles.
on so that he can
Have
exactly
we
like,
said that he's a
and it's
magical
really
cat? He performs magic.
yeah. So he assisted Gus when he was performing his limericks, and in the movie he also like he wears a top hat and he is dressed like a magician. You get the deal. So in this scene, everyone is like cheering on. Oh, you know who's the best cat? It's Mistopheles because he knows magic, and it's cute because the performer he really what you say? How can you say it? He really sells the persona of him being shy and him not believing in himself, because like in this case, he is not singing; he's talking, but it fits the character because he is
That was
not a
an
singer; he is a magician cat.
That's another thing actually from the musical is that in the film he's a nervous cat. In the film or in the Broadway play he's a confident magician actually. So that's actually a change too.
Is he a confident magician?
Yes. He hasn't
So
any.
that's an interesting change.
I don't know if there's much more to say there actually.
I mean, besides that, he finally
That's a change
he
from the
tries three
movie, yeah.
times to bring her back. Yeah, so like he is a shy cat and he gets support from like everyone to bring back the arbiter or the judge, and like at the end it's saying like, oh,
Old
he didn't do it, but then
Deuteronomy.
they turn around and she's there. I am not gonna say that.
Old Deuteronomy.
Do you true not? I'm not gonna say that. It's like a tongue twister.
Okay.
So she's back, and all the tension is gone because
I also feel that
because
it
she's
was
not on the barge anymore. She's
I also feel that it was under this number that Victoria and Mistopheles' romance really came to play, I guess.
I don't remember that actually. Was it something in the movie?
Yeah, they kind of got close, I guess. It was kind of they had some looks before, but now I felt like it was more they started to really like each other.
Yeah, and I felt that as well because like they were much more closer like physically just two next to each other. And like as you said, there were plenty of glances. There was this moment where Mistopheles helped Victoria from the dog, and like they felt like they had a connection. So that's where I feel like yeah, I could ship them.
Okay, next.
You know what also upset me? I'm sorry I have to backtrack. I just remembered. In the Taylor Swift's performance, Idris Elba lost his jacket and his coat. And he was stark naked. And I couldn't believe my eyes because for one moment I believed that he was literally naked. And then I understood everyone was also naked. Like, it was terrible. Yes, let's continue with the next number. So afterwards, as the judge is back, I think. Let me see if I remember this correctly. So what is happening is that McCabery is angry that the judge is gone. So he, as we said before, he grabs Taylor Swift and he whisks away. And that's the last that we see of Swift. And like all of the contestants get like escape from the barge. Jenny like unclothes herself, and they throw off the growl tiger from the barge, I think. So we go back to the ball, and Victoria invites Grisbella back to the fold. They sing a duet, I think. Let me see. I am looking for notes.
It's memory time.
Yeah, I think so. Yes, so Grisbella is back into the fold, and Victoria helps her, uplifts her song, and Grisbella is chosen as the Jellicle Cat choice. She is then shown to a chandelier, and as
We
they
gotta
light the
explain that she
lights around
sings.
her.
Doesn't we gotta explain that now she performs this musical Memory? Because that's kind of the most famous song of Cats the musical.
Yes, so she sings this song, and it's been hinted at like we never heard a full version of this song throughout the musical, because in some way she's either chased off or she leaves Victoria, or like they're interrupted as they're singing. So Victoria like helps her piece this song for Grisbella, and even at the final scene when Grisbella is like losing her like momentum, Victoria picks her up again within the song. And I think it was really nice because it showed like their progression throughout the movie. And also it showcased that Victoria started out silent, but like took initiative when as the movie was closing.
Yeah.
So yes, Grisbella.
Something I kind of just
how
feel like saying about the Memory as a song is that it's kind of the most powerful song in Cats, and it's also the song that I think most people have heard. Like I have heard this song before when I didn't even know that it was from Cats the musical.
I don't think I've heard it, but
Have you really not ever heard this song?
I avoided Cats like wildfire.
Yeah, but this song is just not known as a cat song. I think this is what known as one of the greatest musical songs ever.
I'm sadly never heard of it, but it's the only song I could see myself sing after seeing this movie.
Okay.
So yes, Grisbella is chosen as the Jellicle choice, and she is ascending on this lit chandelier through a skylight at the Egypt theater, and just about as she's rising, Macabre teleports himself on top of the rooftop and clings to the loose rope as he also wants to ascend to be reborn. But he loses grip and he lands on a Napoleon Bonaparte statue in middle of Paris.
Mm.
And Taylor Swift is never seen again. And I'm still mad about it.
The film kind of ends in this kind of song number where they are kind of dancing in front of a lion statue.
Yes, they're standing in like the middle of a plaza with all these statues, and they're singing like "We are the Jellicle Cats," and like a cat is not a dog.
Yeah, or singing is a strong word, I feel, for that song.
Like, we're trying to compliment you guys. As you all listeners know, we are musical maestros, and we, for sure, 100% would be better at singing than them.
But Judi Dench in this song, she didn't sing, she talked in this song.
Yeah, a lot of it was talking. And yes, Grisbella ascends to heavens, and she is
in her magical balloon.
She glitters away. Yeah, and she glitters away out of existence. And Victoria, or the arbiter, the judge, thinks that Victoria is a Jellicle Cat.
Hooray!
So, yes, that was all of the movie.
So, what are your feelings on this movie?
As you may have experienced, mixed, varied, and like a lot of negatives. I didn't feel Victoria like it. I mean, it kind of explains some of the stuff. Seeing that they made Victoria the main character of this movie when there was none from the beginning.
I don't know about that actually. I kind of feel like it could have worked without a main character as well, because the musical is kind of built up with that you meet new characters all the time.
I mean, that's also the setup for the movie, but we're still following with Victoria wherever she goes.
I thought the film was what I did. Did I actually think something of it? It is something that exists, and if you like watching bad movies, then this is a great one to look into.
Okay, but now we're not being fair. I mean, we kind of created all of our opinions. With
but the thing for me about this film is that after I was done with it, I thought it was an okay to bad film when I was done with it. Then I went and watched the musical, which I have talked about a whole bit, and that kind of changed my opinion of the film completely. To me now, thinking that the film is kind of bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's not perfect. There are some stellar performances, like as we mentioned, Jennifer Hudson as Grisbella. All of her songs and just like pure emotion that she radiated as singing her like memory, forgotten tale of her glory. Victoria's singing was quite enjoyable, and like all of her facial expressions and like mannerism of a cat really sold the idea. Mistopheles was great as a shy boy, and I mean, even though like James Corden and like kind of played a little bit of himself, I'm not saying like the weight, just like he just played up the humor, and like he is known for like singing with the Backstreet Boys and keeping
he kind of played
fun.
himself in some way.
Exactly. I mean, I still enjoyed his performance. It was that was the fun part for me for the movie. But a lot of the things just didn't work out. Like the talking, singing, a lot of the characters just like not doing anything. The like Victoria being just motivating Grisbella, and that's like it. That she didn't do anything else. Rum Tum Tum, he didn't do anything in the whole movie. He wasn't even kidnapped. Just McCavity being naked in the Swift number, reminding me that everyone is naked all the time. Like, I can't find myself anyone I could recommend this movie to. It's like a lot of effort was surely put into this. They didn't go like lazily about
something that we haven't talked about is what made this film so popular for a while, and that is the visuals. They kind of made it look like the human bodies with cat fur on it. Well, how did you feel about the visuals in this movie, Karol?
Some of them were like, the scenery was gorgeous. I really loved like the alleyways and the milk bar and the Egypt theater. And like at the end of the movie, once you've seen all the designs of the cats, like you get used to it. You're not so bothered by them anymore.
Yeah,
it's just like as new cats are introduced, I'm just like, oh god.
Kind of the same for me, but there were some humans that I felt like it stuck out a little more that it looked weird.
Yeah, it was. Because it was.
Yeah, but some cats in the film, it melts better than other cats, you can say.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, just as I said before, Ian McKellen, he just looked like a furrified version of himself, and like as I said, he's a great actor and performer, but I could just see him. I couldn't see the character.
Okay, before we
so I think like to wrap it all up.
No, wait. I would actually
opinion.
like to a final opinion of the movie.
And like a rating from 1 to 10 cats.
1 to 10 cats. I give it a meow.
Meow out of cats.
Okay, to be serious. it was an interesting experience. I gotta say it was kind of silly fun sometimes. I I can't say that I like the film, but I can't say that I hate the film like some others do. I can't either say that I think it's as bad as some other people say. I'm kind of just eh.
Like there was heart to it.
Uh,
Like you could see that the visuals and like they
I
put
would
time on it and
I
energy.
would say I can give this film 2 out of 10.
2 out of 10 cats. I mean, I feel the same way. I mean, not. I mean, almost because I like the funny bits. I like talking in between the songs. Um, I've already mentioned the numerous things that I find unappealing, and as I said, I can't find myself able to recommend this movie to anyone. Like, besides you and maybe like a really close friend, you know you're gonna just like take some like beer or like alcohol, maybe popcorn, and
Do
watch
you
this
want to
thing.
see this movie again if we get really drunk together?
I might as well. Like, who else am I gonna see this with?
Yeah.
Uh, like, but you cannot like, but some of the stellar performances are like just like the thought put into this. You can't call it like a bad movie. It's like a bad good movie.
Okay.
So like a 4 out of 10.
Okay. 4 out of 10. Okay. Before we
But like a low 4.
Okay.
Like verging on 3.
Before we end this, Carol, I'm just going to go through some stuff that I have written down here, and but anyway, some notes I have written down. Andrew Lloyd Webber, who is the kind of chief over the musical, has also worked on critically acclaimed musicals as Jesus Christ Superstars, Elvita, The Phantom of the Opera, and is currently working on a Cinderella musical for 2021. Something that
How did that go for him?
I don't know. I haven't seen the reviews or some of that because, as we said before, we're not that into musicals.
Yeah.
I feel like it's kind of hard for us to go and watch a musical here where we are. Okay, but anyway, we as we have explained before, we are not we don't know anything about music really, but if you are interested in knowing about someone that can talk about music, I would recommend a YouTube channel called Sideways. He did a like 1 hour video of Cats the movie where he explains really in depth the music and why it's kind of bad compared to the Broadway show. So I would recommend him to check out if you want to know more about the music. And let's end this on some fun facts. The musical has won 7 Tonys, including Best Musical. The original Broadway production used more than 300 pounds of yak hair. Do you know what yak hair is?
I mean, it's just a yak is like a furry bison,
Yeah.
right?
Kind of like that. It's the 4th longest running Broadway show. The film, apparently in the 90s, Steven Spielberg was in talks to make an animated film adaptation of Cats the musical, but obviously that didn't happen. So there were plans to make an animated movie about this. How would you have felt about that, Carol?
You know what? An animated movie is maybe something I'd rather see
Yeah,
instead of.
maybe that would actually be better. Apparently the cast of the film trained to make cat movements. So they like had to go to school to try kind of train moving like a cat.
I mean, I could totally feel that since, Victoria, like as I said, Victoria had all of these cat-like tics, and all of the other characters had the same. So I'm kind of glad they did that.
And let's end this on this. It was a box office bomb, making 75 million on an 80 to 100 million budget. It was reported that Universal lost $140 million on this movie.
And
Reaction on that, Karol?
I don't know whatever cry, laugh, or smile.
I'm actually surprised about that, because I felt like this movie became so popular because how it looked. So I would have thought that more people would have looked into it. It's that it kind of would have become this movie where you like go and watch it, but it's bad. Kind of like the Emoji Movie did, where a lot of people checked it out just because it was supposed to be so bad.
Are we gonna watch Emoji Movie?
No, we're not.
Yes, we are. Come on. Now that this is out there, we might just have to.
Maybe in 2 years' time or something. Not now, at least. if we have already gone through Cats, we need some weight.
Exactly. We're already warmed up for the experience of the Emoji Movie.
Not now, at least. we have some other topics that we can go through before.
Yeah, like the Minions.
Is that everything you think about bad movies?
I mean, it's just like on my own, I have no reason to watch the Minions, but with you, like, let's go.
Karol, Fredrik, let's start a podcast where we talk about really bad movies. Yay!
And how much we love them.
Yeah. Actually, I don't really have a problem watching bad movies. It's kind of just... I don't really get angry or so emotional. I just kind of am like, okay, that exists.
Sometimes that's enough.
Well...
And sometimes it bombs the box office.
Yeah. Like 140 million.
Exactly.
Well, anyway,
and on that note,
will you end this episode, Karol?
Yes. This was our review / recap / thoughts / discussion / everything about Cats, the movie from 2019.
Yes.
Right? Yes. So, thank you for embarking with us on this journey. And don't forget to like, subscribe, ring that notification bell, keep us on your RSS feed once we get that fixed, and just keep it in your thoughts each time you see a cat, a Jellicle cat.
Meow.
Good night. Meow.
Goodbye.